Welcome everyone to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers, and today we're going to go through unboxing the Edge of Eternities pre-release pack. I'm not going to cover too much about what's inside, as Nick is going to cover in his video that you should have already seen. He's going to uncover what's inside. Mostly I'm going to cover the packs. I'm going to open the packs with you guys, see if we got anything good. We're gonna go through a few little of these with the new Edge of Eternities packs. Nick and myself, we used to play Magic back in the day, probably around standard, 5th edition, and have been out for a while. We got back in for Final Fantasy, and I'll be honest, I wasn't too interested in getting in the Edge Eternities. I wanted to get the Final Fantasy collection complete, or new cards out of that. But those are pretty hard to come by right now. Slowly but surely, there's restock happening, but there's a lot of game stores out there that are just jacking the price up too high right now still. So Edge of Eternities, these are coming in at a little bit closer to MSRP depending on where you go. So we were up in St. Louis, Missouri for the Mo Game Con, which is a retro con, and we checked out some of the local game stores up there and found a vendor or two that was selling stuff closer to more reasonably closer to MSRP. And so got this pre-release pack at one of those stores, and I wanted to unbox it and go through the packs with you. So I wasn't interested in this until I started seeing some of the artwork, and the artwork really caught my eye. So let's kind of open this up real quick and then go through the packs together. And then be sure to check out, starting on August 1st, I'm going to start doing a unboxing of not an unboxing, but a pack opening of one pack a day for 30 days in August to get through this. So I bought a play booster pack for these. See what we get. See if we get anything good. I'm mostly interested in the artwork for this. I don't know if I'll build a deck out of these or not, but I want to collect these because I like the artwork. It reminds me of like a 80s sci-fi retro-ish almost, with a little bit, I just like the artwork. It looks a lot, reminds me of like 80s sci-fi style. So all right, so let's just open this pack up real quick, go through the packs that we got, and see what we got. See if we get anything good. I don't know too much about the cards in this series to see what's worthwhile and what's not. So I may miss something as we're unboxing here. So let's see here. So let's just open her up. Pull out these packs. I'm sure some of the cards in these packs are just the same for everybody. Like I said, Nick will actually go through and get a little bit more in depth into what's inside this. So we're mostly interested in the packs today. So this one here, this must be the guarantee. That's kind of a cool looking card. So that's kind of nice. I like that. Looks like it's got a serialized number on it. 20 out of 25, maybe. I'll have to look that up. I'm not quite sure what that is. Like I said, I'm just now getting back into Magic, so I will have to look up a lot of this stuff. So let's kind of go through these play boosters and see what we got. The pack comes with 6 of these, 6 play boosters for the pre-release. Now, I have not opened cards in a while, so hopefully I'm opening these in the correct order. So, well, showing them in the correct order, I should say. So, common, another common, exosuits here. That looks kind of cool. I like the art style of this a lot. Kind of looks a little alienish, right? The Alien series. Commons. Oh, look at that little corgi chrome companion, little robo corgi. Zookeeper. That's cool. Some more commons to uncommon. Faller's Faithful. Reroute Systems. Terrabotanist and the uncommons. a land card, and that's kind of cool. I like that land. Creature. There's the guaranteed single foil, and that's a common. It's an artifact. There's a land, and then there's the token. So that was the first pack. Not too bad, you know. Common foil. You know, what can you do? Okay. Dark Endurance. This is why I like it. I mean, I like this art style. This is a pretty cool looking art style. Another common. Starfighter pilot. Anybody that's been as old as I am or older, or maybe some diehard sci-fi fan, this kind of reminds me of The Last Starfighter, right? Sammy's Curiosity, Sorcery, another common. Code Transmission, another little Chrome Companion. So it's a pretty common card there, I'd say. Lost in Space, Mechan Assembler, Invasive Maneuvers, Sentry. So uncommons now. There's a rare. That looks pretty interesting. Angel Warrior, rare. And then the foil. It's a rare foil. Biotech Specialist. Kind of looks a little bit like Genosians or whatever from Star Wars. And a Forest. And then the token card. I go through and catalog these into my Mana Box app later, and I sleeve all my cards in a single sleeve, and then eventually, and the ones that I want to keep like in pristine, I will double sleeve, or that I plan to play with, I double sleeve. That's just me. I'm a little OCD with some of that stuff. Shattered Wings, Nebula Dragon. That looks interesting. Gravkill, Spellcraft Mechan. I more enjoy the sci-fi cards than I do the fantasy stuff. So these are right on my alley. Focus Fire, Drix Fate Maker, Pinnacle Kill Ship. That looks kind of cool. Nanoform Sentinel. Common. Here's our uncommons. Zealot. Unravel Instant. Harmonious Grove Strider. Rare. Ooh, that's cool looking. Borderless. And there we go. Zealous Display, a common foil card. And then there's our land and our token. Oh, that lander is kind of cool looking. And on to the next one here. All right. Beamsaw Inspector. Kind of looks something out of Warhammerish there. Cloud Sculpt Technician. Sky Slinger. One of the Nebula Dragons. Radiant Strike. Red Tiger Mechan. Now that looks kind of cool. Legendary Creature. Uncommon. Code Cracker Hound. Huh. They have a few little pets or creatures in this one that are kind of cutesy, right? A little cross between a fox and a dog there. Uncommon Edge Rover. Looks a little bit like the bugs from either Helldivers or the old 80s. Why am I'm drawing a blank on the 80s movie, but yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, the Rico and the Roughnecks and all that. Petrified Field. Land card. Borderless. That's cool looking. And then a rare Terminal Velocity. And then a common Nanoform Sentinel, which we got this one earlier, but this one's in foil. And we got a mountain and another lander, but token card. So it's a pretty neat little card there. All right. So next one, we got one more after this one we'll go through. I will not be like adding up totals or anything for these right now. And this one doesn't want to open. I want to tear it. But on the series that I'm going to do one pack a day, I'll put some totals from what Mana Box tells me they're worth. So we'll look at that. I won't, like I said, I'm not too familiar with the cards in this series and their value. I may look up like top 10. So if we hit one of those, I'll make a mention of it. But, for the most part, I won't know the card value as we're opening them. I don't open these. I don't buy the packs to like look for the most expensive card to sell. I want to collect them. I like the art style and want to keep them. And I like the thrill of opening the packs. So cool if we get hits. If not, I just want to keep these for the art style. So the Human Soldier. Oh, that's backwards. That's my token. Forgot to flip it. So Night Luminary, Blooming Stinger. This has got like almost like a religious paladin sci-fi theme, right, going on with it. Cavland Seeker, Creature, Human Artificer, which I guess is makes sense, right? The white cards are always kind of like a religious symbolism, and then you got your creature deck and your almost black ones, almost like Chaos, reminds me of Chaos Space Marines and so on. Another Cloud Script Technician, Depressurize, commons, Drill Too Deep, instant. Here's my uncommons. Sunstar Expansionist, a Memorial Team Leader, uncommon. Atmospheric Greenhouse, that's kind of cool, like a biomechanical submarine / spacecraft. That looks cool. Lightless Evangel, and Cosmo Geoff. I don't know, elemental rare, elemental creature. And then Honored Knight Captain, an uncommon foil in this one. And then our land card. Ooh, that's a cool looking Plains borderless one. And then our token. Oh, that's a cool token lander one. Kind of looks like the Stargate Atlantis Center piece, right? All right, last pack. Let's see what we got in here. Like I said, I'm just returning to Magic, and I'm trying to learn to play Commander. I've got a Commander deck for Star Wars, Final Fantasy. And so what I'm doing is trying to get with my friends so we can learn to play Commander. Because Commander wasn't something I played, or I'm not even sure it was even out when I played back in the 5th series. So that'll be cool to learn to play again. But I'm really interested in building a deck with the Final Fantasy series, and these ones I just want to collect because I really do enjoy the artwork on these. So Spellcraft Mechan, Flight Deck Coordinator, Drix Fate Maker, Meldon Moxie, Comet Crawler, little Hellbug or something, Command Bridge Land. Oh, that's cool. Annie Mana. Yep. Another Zookeeper Mechan. Litho Breaking. Uncommons. We're getting into the uncommons here. Wedge Light Rammer. Interesting. Little flying boat looking at a spacecraft. Vote Out. Sorcery. Oh, and I pulled some up. Use Social Engineering. Rare. Pain for All. And then uncommon Dual Sun Technique foil. So, and then we got a foil land. And then the lander. Oh, that's even cool lander right there. That one reminds me a lot of the Reapers in Mass Effect. That's kind of cool. A little close resemblance, not totally. But yeah, so that was opening of that. I'm gonna have to look this up. I'm not sure if everybody gets one of these or what this is or what the series number is. Reading the box, reading the bottom of the box, I was pretty sure it told me what was in here. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure if everybody gets one of these cards or what, but I really like that look of that card. That's a really interesting looking, like almost like artistic mech. I don't have a better way of, of describing that card. So yeah, it says 6 play boosters, 1 traditional foil, rare or mythic. So I'm assuming everybody gets their own. So this is everybody gets a different one. So this is a 20 out of 25 rare out of that pre-release pack. So kind of interested to see what Nick got. Unfortunately, Shane decided not to get some of these. I think he's just more interested in the Final Fantasy. He's more of a collector than a player, but we're trying to convince him to play. So he's going to have to build himself a commander deck or buy a precon. So let me know down in the comments if you saw something that was definitely a good pull. Like I said, I'm going to put these into my Mana Box app, and that'll tell me if I got something cool. But maybe I missed something that maybe is not an expensive card or anything, but has really good play value. Because sometimes some of these cards have really good play value, but they're not worth a lot for whatever reason. I would assume if a card's a very high play value card, it's going to be, especially if it's uncommon or higher, or even rare or higher, because then that means it's hard to get a hold of that card. So it'd be a more expensive card. But stranger things have happened. So let me know down in the comments if you saw something that you thought was cool, or that has a high value or a high play value. But remember, I'll start opening a pack out of that booster box a day starting August 1st until I reach the end of that booster box, see what we got. And until then, next time, if you're not subscribed, check out the channel. We'll try to do a little bit more Magic the Gathering stuff. I don't know if there's interest in our group for the Spider-Man series stuff. I'm not too big into that myself. I like Marvel, but I'm not sure I want to do any collection on the Marvel set. But who knows? Sometimes these hobbies can be a little addicting, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And then when I see them, when I start seeing the cards, I'm like, ooh, I like that. So let us know what you think down in the comments. And if you're not subscribe, help us out so we can keep making videos. We do a lot of videos on video games. We used to do some game reviews. We kind of shied away from those until we can get back in the row of getting pre-release or preview copies of those. Those are, it's hard to compete against those guys that make video game videos that can post theirs out as soon as the embargo ends. So let us know what you think, what type of videos you like to see, and we hope you enjoyed watching me open up my packs, and hope to catch you in the next episode. See you later.